Welcome to episode 4 of Speak Like Talks podcast. I'm so excited to have y'all here with me. Make sure y'all tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend to hop on in. We got something to talk about. Talks is live. If you're not following the Speak Like Talks podcast platform, make sure you follow me everywhere at Just Speak Life. giving people enough time to hop on in before we start our conversation for tonight. It's very interesting. Little epiphanies that came across my mind and my life as I came up with the topic. So, giving y'all some time to hop on in. If I could use this moment, this space and time to be an added inspiration to your life, so be it. Just meditate on these words. Moment of truth. When you speak life, let it live outside of you. Don't be afraid, no, don't create excuse. Because what God has for you, it is for you. Hey y'all, hey. Happy Friday. Oh my God. We made it yet again. Another Friday. Another Friday to have a conversation. Another Friday to talk about life. Another Friday to just, relax and wind it down. But, have a discussion about what we've experienced throughout the week. So, this episode is all about personal care and your personal growth. Before I go too far into it, I wanted to just share this little insert that I literally just found not too long ago in regards to tonight's topic. So check it out.
I'm here today to help you understand self-care. Self-care needs to be treated as a priority and not a luxury. We get caught up in taking the heavy weight of problems in life and forget to take care of ourselves. And as you can tell, everyone has different levels of self-care. And what works for me might not work for you. But you got to keep trying.
That is so true. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying. Welcome. I am the one, the only one, Jackie B, the Speak Life advocate, the conduit between you and the source. And one of the things that I love most about what I do is that I get to share in this conversation with you guys. I get to, talk about my growth, talk about my healing, share and compare notes, build on it, laugh, cry, discover, rediscover. The list can go on and on, but that's what I enjoy the most about this platform, this podcast, and just being in this position to talk with you guys, have a conversation, a real freaking conversation. Tonight's episode is all about your personal growth and understanding though the levels that we take in our personal care. It literally all matches up. If you haven't already, I again ask you to make sure you please follow me on all social media sites at Just Speak Life. That is JUST as in Tom, SPEAKLYFE. And I always tell everybody life is acronym for Let Your Faith Evolve. Because in the process of keeping it real, owning your dopeness, the whole nine, you want to elevate your faith. You want to elevate believing in yourself. You want to elevate connecting with God. You want to be able to be who you are on this earth to be, whom you are called to be, and you want it to be natural. You want it to be natural. If you haven't, I ask that you can tune in. You can tap into the chat room by downloading the Spreaker app. You can download the Spreaker app, or you can sign on. You can click that link, create you an account if you haven't already, so you can come in and chat and give me your input and things like that. I'm still working out the structure of creating it on other platforms so that you can actually so I can be visible on other platforms to where I can communicate from all other aspects. It's a work in progress, but nonetheless, we're going to get it done. Okay, in the new month of, where are we at? April. This is April. In the month of June, I am happy to say that I will officially be able to do live interviews. So I have connected with a lot of individuals prior to me actually relaunching the Speak Life Talks podcast. I will be in touch with you guys to start scheduling dates. The live interviews will take place on my Facebook fan page, the Speak Life Talks fan page podcast. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. I'm very excited for that. There's so many things that are taking place behind the scenes that I won't speak on too much, because, you got to make sure it's solidified. I got to make sure, certain things is signed off and completed so that you can see the full package. But just know that Speak Life Talks is really working on a lot of amazing things. One major announcement that I wanted to share with you guys. Let me go ahead and pull it up. My other phone actually died on me. So I had this in order, but then it died. I was like, yeah, that was perfect. That was perfect. So I don't know how many of you guys that are on here. I don't know how many you know this, but I am actually hosting a $200 Why I Smile contest giveaway. I thought it would be something to acknowledge so many people's, or one particular person at this time. We all go through a lot. And the pandemic did some numbers on every last one of us. So I figured, hey, why not, show my appreciation to at least one person? But I'm acknowledging so many on my platform. So this is why I chose to do the Why I Smile challenge. So I'm actually trying to find the rules and regulations that I created so that I can share that with you guys. Because I want to make sure everybody, get the opportunity to smile for a minute. Just smile and share your story in regards to why you smile. So let me at least find the information so that I can share with you. I hope y'all having a good night. I hope y'all winding down. I hope you got your best drink. I hope you're tuning in, ready to receive all this good news. Okay? So, again, this is a chance to receive $200 for your Why I Smile story and pic. I need the story and the pic, the picture. best smile, whatever picture you choose. It represents you. All right, so here are the rules to enter. I need you all to follow the Speak Life Talks podcast on Facebook, IG, and Twitter at Just Speak Life. I already gave y'all my handle. I have spelled it out for you. If you're just now tuning in, the handle is spelled JUS as in Sam, T as in Tom, Speak Life, SPEAKLYFE. And again, life is acronym for Let Your Faith Evolve. That's number 1. Number 2, send me your best Why I Smile story with picture via email at speaklifetalks@gmail.com. Again, after this show, I am definitely going to repost the information on my podcast page as well as all of my other platforms. Again, yes, send your best Why I Smile pic with story via email at speaklifetalks@gmail.com. Then I want you to repost the flyer that I have attached to the actual contest using hashtags Speak Life with a little kissy lips, Speak Life Talks, and Why I Smile. I also would like for you to tag 5 people. And please, baby, please don't forget to smile. You look so much better when you smile. You look so much better when you smile. And I love to acknowledge every last one of you for your smile and for all the good things that you're doing. So yeah, let's do that. The Why I Smile story and pick $200 contest giveaway. Please partake in that. This is like something that I'm doing that I really look forward to doing consistently. So depending on how this first one go, I might decide to do it every month, or, every other month, whichever the case may be. But I'm looking for your participation. Your participation helps me do these things. So, yeah. So, getting right into it. Personal care equals your personal growth. Let me start like this. And it's funny because this is what actually egged on me having to do this conversation tonight. So let me take y'all back a little bit. I remember when I was prepping for high school, Madison High, a class of, I didn't finish there, so that's another story. But, okay, so I was actually prepping for my freshman year, my first day. First day was in like 7 days, so I was excited. And you know how us teenagers be, when we get ready, we lay our outfit out for the day. We step back and we look and we examine and we make sure it look good, it's right. If we got to make any changes, we do. We'll literally sit that baby out there, or if we got a couch in our room or whatever the case may be, we're going to sit it in the spot where we know ain't nothing going to happen to it. We ironed it the night before. Like, we got ready for that first day. Because why? Because we about to kill a city. That's what we used to say when we was in high school. Don't judge me. But I knew I was going to kill a city when I put that when I put that outfit on. I couldn't wait. Went in the bathroom, got myself all prepped up. I looked in that mirror. I saw a zit, a bump, right there in the middle of my forehead. Keep in mind, y'all, this is 7 days prior to my first day of high school. And when I tell you, I went berserk. I went crazy because I'm like, what? 7 days? Why? Okay, I felt like I was being cursed. I felt like God had something against me. Because why would you give me a bump right in the middle of my dang on forehead? Why would you do that? So, I could have popped it, but then I would have to deal with the aftermath of popping as it, the blackhead, the scar, just, like the ugliness of it. Again, 7 days before school starts, before the first day of high school, there's peer pressure that comes behind that. So instead of popping it, I decided, I'm like, you know what? No, I got these these facial. I was using Noxzema at the time, so it was like, okay, I'm gonna use this. I ain't gonna touch it. I'm gonna make sure my hands is clean every time I wash my face, and then I'm gonna just do the necessary steps to make sure that by the time Monday come, the first day of school, I'll be ready. And this is a true story, y'all. I am not lying. This is an honest to God true story. I will never forget it. It's like it's embedded in me because I literally was going frantic over a bump right in the middle of my forehead. And what was so crazy is it wasn't even that dang on big. It wasn't even that big. It was just noticeable to me because it was not there before. So every single day from Monday through Sunday, I literally took the time to, literally take care of that bump. I did the Noxzema, I did the astringent, the toner, the cream. I did everything that I needed to do to get that bump to disappear. And I was so proud of myself. Came Sunday night, it was gone. It was gone. And I was like, my confidence was back. I was feeling good about myself. I was like, okay, yep, my face back pretty. Oh, yeah. I was glad. Okay. That's one incident. That's one incident of personal care. Let's fast forward. Here I am now in my adult life, living my best life, doing things that make me happy. One of the things that I can recall, being a high schooler is, I always wanted to get my nails done. Got my nails done. I stayed getting my nails done. Tips galore. Like, you couldn't tell me that I didn't look good, blah, 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 blah. All right? So you know that. However, for me, in the back of my mind, I always wanted to have my regular nails done, right? But the issue that I was facing was either they weren't growing fast enough, or when they did grow, they were breaking, or I was impatient. So the tips are always the go-to answer. It's fitting. Boom, I ain't got to do too much. It's there. And then, I'll be good because my nails will grow underneath the tips anyway. So, I'm good. But at the same time, I wasn't following the routine like I was when I was in high school. As I got older, I got a little more busier, more responsibilities came into play. There was just so many things where, every 2 weeks going to the nail shop, I just couldn't do. So by that time, let's just say 3 weeks kick in, or a month, I haven't been to get my nails done, and, 1 or 2 or all of them will pop off. Then, I see my nails, but, they're brittle because I haven't done the necessary care to make sure that, they stay up to par, right? So just recently, I decided, I went with my best friend to the nail salon, and we did mani-pedis. I was debating on if I should, get my nails done, get the tips like I normally do, and of course, get my feet right. But then I was like, I'm gonna try something different this time. I'm gonna just do the mani. I ain't gonna do no tips. I'm just do the mani. And to my surprise, it actually turned out nice. I'm very happy at the results. But then there was the one thing that I didn't acknowledge, that I don't think I've really ever acknowledged in that process. And I look at my hands every single day now, ever since I got the mani, because I realized in this process of just doing this one simple task in regards to personal care, my nails, like the growth in my nails, I could see it. I can see it. And I'm watching it. And that was almost a week ago now? I've watched my nails before my eyes extend. And I was like, wow, something so simple as your nails growing. The actual time that you take in your personal care routines and your regimens, they really assist with your growth. Something as simple as that, we often overlook. And it happens when we're impatient. It happens when, when we feel like we don't have the time. It happens because it's often overlooked. Our personal growth for me is more than just the work that we do within us. It's the work that we do on the outside of us too. But even still, it's that time that really shows us whether we're growing or not. It's that time that we're putting into these routines, these regimens of self-care that, shows us if we're growing or not. So I wanted to share some of these inserts that I've come across on two different platforms, two different websites. Let me get to it. Because the information that was given it really assists and it speaks to everything that I'm basically talking about tonight. How to understand personal growth, your personal care, and your personal growth. Being able to, create certain routines and regimens for yourself so that you're able to actually see it. So that you can see it, that you can feel it. It'll enhance your confidence. It'll elevate your smile. It'll make you feel so good about yourself when you know that your personal care, especially when you pinpoint the certain things within your personal care routines that really pushes the envelope to your elevation. So this I'm reading from, what is this? EngageCounseling.com. It's all about self-care and self-improvement. So what they say is, self-care may seamlessly turn into self-improvement because when you love and care for what is, self-improvement follows, which is just what I said. When you're doing it, especially when it gets to a point where it's almost like second nature to you, consistently, ongoing, it's a part of you. It's a part of, how you function. You'll be able to watch your growth because it feels good to you and it makes you happy. So, what does this look like in everyday life? And we can look at two examples. Suppose you want to lose weight. Start the process by accepting yourself exactly the way you are instead of thinking, when I lose X amount of weight, then I will. Eat healthy food and exercise your body because you want to increase your energy, mental clarity, and general well-being, not because you are unhappy with the way you look. Now, what's so funny about them saying this is I shared this with someone. I talk to so many dope queens. Sometimes I don't really recall who I have the conversation with, but nonetheless, the conversation was needed. Now, if a lot of you have seen me, a lot of you know what I look like. I am a plus size woman, right? It took me a long time to get to a state where I began loving on myself and at the level that I'm at, or the level I was prior to who I am now. Long journey because I experienced so many different levels of trauma as far as my weight. It had me second guessing who I am, okay? I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. It really had me second guessing me. It had me wondering if I was even good enough, if I was deserving. It had me even sitting up here comparing myself to other queens. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, for the ones who worked for certain results or got the results that I desired, I would ask those questions. Oh, how come she looked beautiful? Or I would I don't even know the words to choose, but I would go be above and beyond in complimenting other queens, simply because while I am applauding their goals, their elevation, their accomplishments, deep down inside me, I was like, I want that too, not realizing that I had all the tools that I needed to be successful, to actually accomplish any and everything that I wanted to do, that I needed to stop comparing my journey to somebody else's journey, because I don't know how and what they did specifically to get to where they are. And who's to say that their journey was easier or less easier than mine? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was not my place to sit up here and compare myself to another queen like that. That's not fair. That's not right. I owed myself then and even now so much more, and I realized that. But in that conversation, what I shared with my homegirl, I said, a lot of people misconstrue, the level of happiness a plus size individual is supposed to feel. I really need you guys to understand, and a lot of people may disagree with me about this. That's fine. Please keep in mind that this is the platform I created, and I'm using my platform to share this information because this is what I feel. This is what I believe. You are more than welcome to disagree with me, but keep it respectful and intact. Okay, that's all I ask, because I'm not going to disrespect you in your opinion. But I feel like this, when it comes to us plus size women, I'm all for the body positive. I'm all for the, loving yourself wholeheartedly. I'm all about appreciating who you are, where you are in your journey. But I do not care what nobody say. I am fully in love with myself. There's some things that, I still feel like, I could do a little bit better at, but for the current being and the current state that I'm in, with the body that God has blessed me with, I am very, very much so in love with myself. But I am not happy, or I will say this, I am not satisfied with the weight that I have on me. I don't give a damn, excuse my language, but I just got to be real. I do not give a damn what nobody say. While I know how to dress for my body size, I know how to compliment my curves. Having weight on you, whether it was put on there naturally or, genetically, it was passed down, it's not healthy. It's not healthy. And there are certain restrictions on us plus size individuals that we have on us that we can't accomplish. Now, again, it's not speaking against anyone. It's not even putting limitations on you. All I'm saying is, being a plus size woman with the extra pounds, there are certain things that we end up having to work harder for that other individuals can't. It's not saying that we still can't live our best life. It's not saying that we can't, have fun. It's not saying, please understand, it is not saying that you cannot love yourself. No, love yourself wholeheartedly. Love yourself in your journey wholeheartedly. But be realistic with yourself too. Be realistic with yourself. While there are many things that we can do, there are a lot of things that we can't. But I'm only speaking for me. I don't know what everybody else can do. I know what I can't do. And for me, while I'm in the process of loving myself and appreciating myself, at the same time, I know that there's a certain goal for me, size-wise, that I desire, because my ultimate goal is to be healthy. And to be honest with you, I want to run like I did when I was in high school, when I was in track, or when I was just doing it just for fun. It made me feel good. I was happy. I enjoyed it. To be able to run like I did when I was younger, that's a great goal for me. And it's realistic for me. So there's just certain things that I know I need to do to get to that point. So this is all to say in that just that part right there, love yourself where you are, but create your goals, especially if you know what you know for yourself as far as your weight. Love yourself where you are, but be realistic with your goals and work towards being the better person that you desire to be. Point blank, period. Okay? And I'm going to get off of that. All right? So, let me see. Okay. Because you're unhappy with the way you dress yourself with the same care that you would X amount of weight lighter. Do you want to see a counselor to improve your marriage? Go to counseling not because you feel obligated to or because you owe it to the kids. Work on your marriage because it will make you happier and more at peace with yourself, and because you will be less stressed and laugh more. Work on your marriage because you love yourself and want the best for yourself. Self-care starts with being willing to be right where you are as you are and accepting what is right here, right now. From there, you can make tweaks, not because you are broken, but because you are a valuable and worthy human being. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? If you don't even listen to my platform, if you don't even listen to the women that will be on my platform, but if you happen to listen to a lot of other self-help podcasts, YouTubes, any other platform, if you read a self-help book, whatever the case may be, every last one of them, every last one of them encourages the now. What are you doing right now? How are you feeling right now? What are you thinking right now? What's about to take place right now? It's all about the now. Making a decision right now. Are you looking to be your best self? Is that what you really want? If you want it, say it. Then declare. What are you declaring right now? Don't say, oh, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it tomorrow. What if tomorrow never comes? You can't say, oh, I could have did it yesterday. Yesterday is gone. We're talking about right now. Whatever you do in the NOW, in that moment is what will catapult and really rocket you, shoot you off like a rocket, blast you off into your next step. It's all about the right now. I got to say that again. Self-care starts with being willing to be right where you are, as you are, and accepting what is right here, right now. From there, you can make tweaks, not because you are broken, but because you are a valuable and worthy human being. How to start? Start with the basics. Self-care can look very basic. As simple as eating 3 healthy meals every day, brushing your teeth before bed, or going to bed at a reasonable hour. This person, she said one way she measures her own self-care is by looking at the things she does for her kids and then asking if she's doing the same thing for herself. That's dope. Even in that part, one of the things I like to share or when I'm having conversations with my girlfriends, I always talk about requirements and stipulations and standards. I feel like, especially, let's just talk in a brief discussion within dating. I feel like you can't set standards. You can't set a requirement. You shouldn't, choosing the wrong words. You shouldn't set standards. You shouldn't set requirements, or you shouldn't expect out of people what you are not willing to give yourself. If you're not willing to take the time out with yourself to take yourself out on a date, something as simple as that. Let's go a little deeper, which it should be obvious, but a lot of people don't really, they don't follow through. But if you are not really on the up and up with your personal hygiene, if you're out here smiling in people's face and you got things going on within in the forefront of your mouth, like your mouth, everybody see that's like all of this in your face, your head, that's your focal point. The goal is for that to be your money maker. Once that is intact, everything else will follow. But if you don't care about your personal hygiene, how are you to go and expect a significant other or even a friend to be on the up and up, or they should treat you a certain kind of way, but you're not even treating yourself that way? Be realistic. Be realistic about that. That stuff really matters. So do I do the same for myself? Or do I just grab some this is her talking, or do I just grab some stale cookies, leftover chips, and a coffee and call that a meal? When any of her kids is in emotional pain, is she the first to offer hugs and comfort? No, she is the first to offer hugs and comfort. She says she will call herself a compassionate person. Then she says, does she offer herself the same level of emotional comfort when she has had a bad day, or does she beat herself up and criticize herself for not being better? We do that a lot. We tend to, especially when we don't get the results that we're seeking or desiring right away. And it's not saying that when the results that you're seeking, it doesn't happen. Some things take a little longer than others for you to get to where you're going. But when that happens, it's not best to beat yourself up, because it's almost like you're taking 10 more steps backwards. I'll speak for myself. I experienced one time while working on building my business credit. I did, well, at least I thought I did all the necessary steps to make sure everything was to go right. And I applied for my first business credit card. They said no. So I was like, okay. So I went back over the information that was given to me. I did that wrong. So what I was supposed to do was go and look for vendor's credit. So then I started doing, I started doing that. I was getting denied. I was so frustrated and heated because I'm like, these no's. And I'll be honest with you, I stopped. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have allowed myself to give up on myself. That's not fair, because that set me back. Further than I should. I shouldn't have done that to myself. So I don't think, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. Don't. Another thing, as far as personal care, one of the things that I value the most in my current life right now is having true to life good queens around me. I value that, because that, if nothing else, that was one of the things I've prayed for in my life for a long time. I've asked God, and my ancestors, I've asked them, I place people in my life that if they're going to be around me, they're going to know me. They're going to know me without me having to prove who I am to them, especially if I've spent years around these people, especially if we're in each other's space consistently. So I'm very, very grateful to God and my ancestors for the current queens that I have. My best friend, Shanika LeVay. I ain't gonna say what I would normally say, her hashtag. I'm a model beat. I'm gonna just say that part and leave it there, because this is a clean show. But nah, for real, I value her a lot, because a lot of these conversations that I come to you guys with, and it's so crazy because a lot of times she doesn't know off back what my conversations or what the topics of my shows may be, but it just so happened, whether it's within that week or the day of, we tend to start talking about what, we have conversations based around those topics, my topics. And like today in particular was a really, really great conversation that she and I had. Well, I mean, we always have great conversations. That's like the plus of having real queens that are around you, that love you and that hold you accountable, that are not going to allow you to fail because they won't fail. I mean, it's so beautiful. But like, we spent some time today. We had lunch and we literally talked about our growth and where we came from 3 years to now. We touch on this often because it's a realization for us, going through our lives. We've experienced where, we've been around people that haven't had our best interest. They may have, the intentions could have been there, but the actions weren't. And I mean, it's okay. Things happen. People come and they go. But understanding that, having friends of that nature, having friends that are solid, that are going to tell you the truth, that whether you know it or not, that is a part of personal care as well. Because again, how you treat yourself, your friends should be able to complement that, And one of the things that we had discussed today was about, people coming in our lives. It's a reason and a season for everybody. And I'm like, while that is true, but we also have to understand for every season we go through while we're here on this earth, we all are elevating. So as we're elevating, the requirements enhance, especially for those that are currently in our lives. The requirements enhance. There is no purpose. There is no point of me elevating in my life. And as I'm elevating, you're stagnant, or the level of requirements that you can meet has reached its ceiling, if that makes sense to any of you out there. And it's not to say that, this is where you get off on the train. It doesn't have to be a manner of disrespect. It doesn't have to be, a battle or anything. It's just all it is that, you've gotten everything that you needed at that time, and vice versa. Now it's time for you to take the level of elevation that you've consumed or you've received, and now you got to help the next person behind you that's going through the same thing. I feel like if a lot of people will actually look at it in that hindsight, if everybody were to actually focus on the positive of when a person's season, as a lot of people would say, is it's their season to actually branch off. It's not, change is not as bad as people like to think it is. But if you actually pay attention to it, it's all about growth. It's all about growth. And everybody's level of growth is entirely different. All right. So the difference between self-care and self-improvement is subtle, but I believe it is important. Self-care comes from a place of, I'm pretty darn great the way I am. Self-improvement comes from a place of, I'm broken and I don't like who I am. I need to change XYZ. Don't know how to get to a place of, I'm pretty darn great the way I am, then start from a neutral place. Start right where you are, wherever that may be. When I am back in 2012, and I've shared this story on so many occasions, but I'm not going to share the whole thing. But there's just that brief moment of pivoting that I'm going to share. In 2012, when I separated from my ex-husband, I ended up moving back home with my mom. I was confused. I was crying. I was stressed out. I was asking why. I had so much hatred and anger in me. It was like I was just in this big ass bubble, excuse my language. I was in this big bubble, just lost. And I'm like, where do I go from here? And it was the moment that I looked in the mirror, the first time in such a long time that I looked in the mirror, and I was not really looking, I wasn't looking at the shell. I was looking into the spirit. I was looking to the inner God in me. And I remember saying, I believe in you if no one else will. And the sincerity in my voice is really what began shaking and stirring and pivoting who I am today. I didn't know that I was activating what I was activating then. And every time I talk about it, I kind of like, I get overjoyed and excited. And it brings me back to those feelings, those very feelings that I had in that moment. Ugly cry and all. I conquered up enough energy in that neutral space to calm myself down and speak into myself and say, keep going. I got you. I don't know what that looked like. I didn't know how it was going to be. I didn't even know what direction I was put in to go in, but I knew in that little moment, in that very small mustard seed size moment, that I had enough faith in me to know that, yeah, this is what it is right now, but it won't be that forever. Now, did the crying stop? No. Did the anger stop? Mm-mm. Did the hatred stop? Nope. Oh, nah. It was a journey. It's still a journey. Because every opportunity I get to have those mirror conversations with myself and my spirit, something new is revealed. Something new is revealed. And then I have to process it. Then I have to experience the feelings that I'm having. Then I have to ask the other I wouldn't say unnecessary questions, but I have to ask the other uneasy questions to get to the answer. And again, this isn't an overnight situation. This isn't even the next day or even that year. It's all a journey. It's the process of healing, the process of personal care, the process of consistent personal care, the process of knowing that if you keep doing this one thing, keep doing, and don't beat yourself up if you don't get the results you want right then and there. Don't beat yourself up if for any reason, it doesn't look like it's happening. You got to understand that the spiritual realm and the physical realm are two entirely different realms, We'll get on that at a later date. But the consistency in your personal care and your desire for change assists with your personal growth. Okay? Again, don't know how to get to the place of I'm pretty darn great the way I am? Then start from a neutral place and start to do things that demonstrate care for your body and mind. And somebody said she ended it with fake it and see what happens. But I wouldn't want you to fake it. I don't think I agree with that part. Because then I feel like in certain ways you may be forcing yourself. Again, this is not something that we would want to force ourselves to do. I don't want you to force yourself to feel good if you don't. I don't want yourself to force yourself to eat healthy if you don't want to eat. If you want to eat a oiled up burger, that's you. Do it. But I'm not condoning bad habits. I'm saying break the habit, break the bad habits, one small step at a time. Be realistic with yourself. Be realistic with yourself and take the time and actually start paying attention to your habits. Start paying attention to how you treat yourself. Start paying attention to how you groom yourself. Like I said, me and looking at my hands from a week ago, my nails, and the simple fact that I see the growth. Now, I'm not saying that it's growing extremely fast, no, but I know what my length was when they first did my nails versus where it is now. And that I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. And knowing that just doing these simple things and watching it and being able to experience it. I don't feel my nails growing, but I know it's happening, I know it's happening. And I know that if I continue doing exactly what I'm doing, then what I desired so many years ago, as far as having long, luxurious nails without having to add tips, I know I'm going to get it. It's just going to take me a little time, and it's going to take me and the efforts that I choose to put into it to get the results. All right. So we're going to go to this next website. It's called psych2go.net. And again, I'm going to post these links up on my page on all my platforms so that you guys can go and check this out for yourself. So on psych2go.net, they said 6 simple self-care tips. These are 6 simple self-care tips to become a better you. Okay. So the first one is make a sleep routine. I'm still learning that, y'all. I'm still learning that. But it says practicing self-care is easier when you create a routine, which is what we've all been talking about. It prepares you mentally for what you are about to do. Establishing a routine is especially helpful when it's dealing with fluctuating bedtimes. If you find out that you're having trouble falling asleep, try to create a groove that prepares you for your bed, okay? I'm not going to read too much into that. The next one is eat mindfully. Working out is almost always mentioned in self-care articles, but what you put into your body is equally important. The food you eat not only plays a role in physical fitness, but it also plays a role in your mental health. Create and enforce boundaries. I feel like there is a misconception about boundaries. Boundaries do not exist to deliberately exclude types of people in your life, though they can certainly end up doing that. Boundaries are there to remind you that you need to take care of yourself first. They serve as guidelines for others and set an example of how others should approach and treat you. A boundary can save you from emotional or mental distress and will eventually help you foster better relationships with yourself and others. Disconnect. This one is difficult, even for me. And that's the author speaking, but I'm going to agree to being real. Sometimes I don't want to disconnect. Sometimes especially, like social media has been one of those things. I will say though, I'm proud of myself because before this year started, I did set a goal that, I wanted to be less active on social media. And the only times I wanted to be, visible or on it is when I'm doing what I'm doing now, which is my podcast, or promoting others, or doing things that complements what I am doing for the Speak Life Talks brand, for what I am doing as a music artist, for what I am doing for my other friends and business partners and so forth. Yeah, as long as it complements what I have going on already, I'm good. Otherwise, I don't really see a strong purpose of being as visible on social media anymore, especially if it doesn't assist in my growth. Okay, boom. All right. Again, this one is difficult even for me. Often I am plugged into my computer or phone thinking that I am getting work done when in reality I'm probably not. Usually I'm multitasking and inadvertently increasing my stress and burning myself out. I am sure I'm not the only one. We just talked about it, right? Right. Okay. So the next one is organize inside and out. Your external space affects your mental one. Researchers have proved that a disorganized home contributes to depression, anxiety, and weight gain, which is why getting organized can help you become a better you. Listen. I always say, when my house is in disarray, I know for a fact that something mentally is not going right with me. I know that when my house is unorganized, and it's a little unorganized right now, but that's going to be taken care of because, I'm a freak when it comes to that. It's just sometimes I get tired and sometimes I get lazy, but over with that. But when that does happen, it's because mentally either I'm overthinking something, or I'm so focused on other areas of my life, or I'm stressing out, or I'm a little worried. There could be so many different things, but for me, I know when I'm not together, when my house isn't together. When my house isn't together, I'm not together. And that means if I feel like I am no use to anyone at that particular moment, so your house is literally, it's the resemblance of your brain. Your house, no one can see what goes on inside of your house unless you allow them to come in. It's no different from how your brain works. Nobody knows what's going on in your head unless you allow them in, And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, your brain, you can fix it all by just cleaning it up, whatever. The brain is definitely different from your household. Your household got closets, and you can just throw some stuff in the other closet, whatever the case may be. But even then, do you really want to do that? Because that then it says you didn't really clean your house. You just moved your clutter around, You just moved it to another place of hiding. Do you really want to do that? That's another topic for another day. So yeah, your home is a resemblance of your brain. That's how I like to think of it as. All right. So the next one and the very last one is do something you love. This is a quintessential tenet of self-care. When most people think of self-care, it involves dancing around Ariana's new album in your room with a face mask on or some derivative of that image. It means to have fun. And you should. Self-care is about you. So do something that makes you happy. Obviously, something that does not harm you or others. If that means reading a book, do it. If self-care means waking up at 6 a.m. to go on a run, go for it. The point is to enjoy life. Stop and smell the roses, because life is too short. Literally. Again, you can check all this information out, and I'm definitely going to post it again. The website is psych2go.net. The other one that I read from was engagecounseling.com/self-care, self-improvement. Listen, at the end of the day, personal care and personal growth is literally one and the same. It's literally one and the same. What you do to your body, what you do to enjoy yourself, what you do to show that you love yourself will literally show up in your growth. Because it will enhance your mind, it will develop your brain, it'll allow you to feel new and inspiring feelings. It will allow you to open up to different lifestyles, people, engage. It's just so much great goodness that comes with consistent personal care for yourself. On my way home last night, I literally created this it's like a little song. I'm not going to sing it. Or should I? I don't know. I don't know if I remember it, but it literally just came to me on my way home. And it literally goes like this. Be kind to me. I think it was, I see you looking in the mirror, staring at your reflection. Is the vision any clearer? Or are you seeking for perfection? There is beauty in your flaws. There is peace behind your smile. So know that when you're looking in the mirror, you are staring at God. So yeah, that immediately came to me on the instant, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Personal self-care, personal growth are one and the same. And I'm going to close with saying this. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Be generous to yourself. Be accepting of yourself. Forgive yourself. Be all of these things to yourself, because that's where it all begins. Being good to yourself has never been more important. I am the one, the only one, Jackie V, the Speak Life advocate, the conduit between you and the source. I thank you again for tuning in to another amazing show. Listen, I am looking for more topics to talk about, more discussions to have. If there is anything that you would love for me to share my insight or input on, and you want to chime in, hit me up on any platform. Send it my way. Or you can send it to me via email, speaklifetalks@gmail.com. I want to hear from you. There's going to be a lot of Q&As taking place too, because I want to interact with my audience. I want to know how you feel. I want to get your views and opinions, and I want to be able to share them on my platform, because this is, I'm healing, but you're healing too. So why not heal together, right? Again, make sure you're following me on all platforms at Just Speak Life, and that's LYFE Life. Life. Let your faith evolve. Again, I'm the one, only one, Jackie V, the Speak Life advocate, the conduit between you and the source. And I'm going to tell y'all, like I always tell you, remember to speak life into yourself and others, but most importantly, remember to speak life into yourself first. Because if you don't believe in what you're saying, how can you expect anyone else to? I love you all. Good night.
Be an added inspiration to your life. So be it. Just meditate on it.